In terms of against Minnesota, obviously, before, you guys haven't been giving up as many goals. You guys have been a lot stronger on the road. What do you think was the difference against Minnesota?
Um, well, we get the goal, which was important at a time that maybe they came at us. We finally found control of the game. We get the goal, and it just to give up a goal that quickly after scoring, it's just something that shouldn't happen. And we got to make sure as a group that doesn't happen again because we put ourselves in a very good situation. The second goal, it's just hard. You can never predict that. It had nothing to do with tactics. It was all about just mistiming. Two aggressive players trying to get to the ball, do the best they can for the team, and Quintero somehow got out of that mess, and they kept playing while one of our players was on the ground, and they got a goal out of it. And then the third goal maybe comes a little bit out of desperation because we get two outside backs kind of caught out of position, and then they take advantage of that. Could we have been a little bit more defensive? Possibly, but there was big portions of the game where we maybe felt that we could, keep the ball and stuff. And then again, when we lose it, then they were decent at causing some stuff. But we leave the game learning from that game. And yeah, you don't want to get scored on. Goal differential matters. Everything matters right now towards the end of the year. But overall, I was happy with the guys' energy and not happy with the result. But it's something that we could definitely learn from. It was the goals that we took are very preventable.
So in terms of the last two road games of the season, how do you anticipate trying to kind of, have what happened in Minnesota not happen again?
Well, the opponent does count, so it's not everything we do will always comes out on the field, but we'll work to continue to do what we're doing. When we lose the ball, we got to have good reactions from the group, not 9 guys, not 8 guys, not everyone is convinced that when you lose it, emergency lights got to go on, that you got to get yourself either to pressure the ball or reorganize and get in a good structure. From a good structure, then you got to find a way to get pressure on the ball continuously throughout the match. And then when we get the ball, we just got to be a little bit better with the ball and be have a little more conviction when we get into the areas. Again, we're not scoring because of lack of opportunities. We're just, maybe the pass isn't great enough or we're not taking the shot. Or I think there was one where Dami was a little too much unselfish, and he tries to lay it off to Corey when maybe he could have taken the shot. So just getting back to confidence and getting back to, guys, it's not over when you win. You're not the best team, and when you lose, you're not the worst team either. Every team in this league is losing and winning, and we just got to make sure that we end up right here towards the end.
With 4 games left until the end of the season, a couple of them are against teams that are basically not in the playoff picture, and the other 2, I think they're right in the mix. How big of an opportunity is this for you guys to just get as many points as possible from these 4 games?
Huge, but not because the guys that people are going to start talking about aren't in the playoffs, and it's this and that. Last year, that was a mistake that Galaxy did with Houston. Those are always the tougher games. Those 4 games, all 4 games, are important games. Very important in their own way. So for us, we can't look at, oh man, we got Vancouver at the end of the year and Houston. No. We have New England this weekend. After that, we'll talk about the Wednesday game. But every game for us, the mentality of the guys is we're not going to fall into a trap of one weaker than the other. Every game's going to be tough for us. And as a staff and as a club, we got to figure out, because of those games, how we can put the best squad for each game that gives us the best chance of winning the match.
Is there anything just going to the end of the season that you guys are still trying to tweak or improve so you guys are as strong as possible for when playoffs come around?
Just sharper. Towards the end of the year, playoff comes around, set pieces become important for and against, right? Managing the game, scoring a goal on the road right away should trigger something in the head where now we got to be a little bit sharper, a little bit smarter, a little stingier in spaces that we give to the opponent. You got to learn from that. And then tomorrow we'll show a recap to the group of those situations. You got to manage better. Anytime you go on the road, the opponent's going to have large sequences of attacking moments against you. How do we manage those moments? Also, when we take control of the game, how can we capitalize in those moments? So it's just getting sharper and being aware, and again, showing to the guys of this is what you've been doing good, this is where we can improve and stay sharp and continue to grow.
Do in-game and halftime adjustments matter more with just less time in the season?
Prepping the video, the game plan that you put together is crucial. The guys got to get a clear picture of what the opponent's going to bring. And then, halftime, sometimes halftimes you don't do much, and the team goes and does fantastic. There's other times where you think you point out a lot of things, think you're going to have the team, and it maybe doesn't come out. So the half times are always a little bit, you try to give as much information without giving too much information. There's a fine balance. You can't just go in there and start this and this and this and this and this. It's really the 2 or 3 things that we can do a little bit better, and 2 or 3 things that we are doing better. Can we continue to do better leading into the second half?
What do you anticipate from New England, a team that's battling for the playoffs like we mentioned, but also a team that you haven't seen much of?
Yeah, we anticipate a team that's, like you said, they're battling. They're I think in that 7th or 8th spot. So it matters for them. It matters for us. They're a home team. Watching a lot of games from them, they come out on the front foot at home. They think they can take advantage of the travels that you have to go from across the country. The playing surface isn't the best. Those are all things that they would like to capitalize on. And what we got to go do is, with the mentality that it's going to be a game that at times you have to suffer. And you're going to have to suffer collectively to get through the bad times of those matches. And when you do break down the opponent and you start having some success, that we can treat that success without opening up too much, where we're just, okay, let's now start going and opening up too much space. Because they're a team that very much so, at times, 3 guys will stay up top. And you can be having control of the game, and then you lose one bad pass, one foul maybe not called, and they're getting it up to their very, very dangerous front players, and then they're running at you. So we expect a very, very good team coming with a lot of energy when they're at home.
Corey said that they're kind of, I don't know if it was his personal approach or the team's approach, but that he feels like every game now is a playoff game, even though you're still in the regular season. Do you encourage that mentality, or is that something you want to see all season, that they treat every game as if it's the last game?
Well, I think you want to. I don't want to add any extra stress on the guys. If you've played before, you know that there's already the outside world, there's the pressures of the game that are in. Does every game matter? Yeah, every game matters. I hate losing. I hate losing 5v5. We all do. They're all competitors. That's why they've gone to this level of the game. But they do know, they understand the importance of the game. I mean, if they tell you they don't, they do, and it doesn't make any sense for me to add more pressure to them. My job is to put out the exercises that are going to prep them best, and hopefully from there they're like, oh, coach really wants to emphasize this, and they should already get that. The rest of it comes from me. No extra stress is needed for them.
When it comes to 2 teams playing and they're both fighting for positioning in the playoffs, what is the thing that usually, I guess, is the difference between a result and not a result?
Well, sometimes individual. Minnesota, for example, Quintero made a huge difference for them. And just again, trying to know that it's not the end of the world. Let's take this game, enjoy the game, play the game, maybe add a little bit of extra bite, a little bit of extra intelligence, but don't shy away. Don't be timid to make mistakes. Don't be the team that's waiting to react to see what the opponent's bringing. You got to enjoy it. If you can go in with a clear mind, a clear understanding of what you're going to meet up against and what we need to do, and leave all the stress and implications of this and that, and really just focus on the match, I think we have a good team. I know we have a good team. It's just getting them at the right time and making sure they're not overvaluing the game. Don't put too much on it. We want to win. We want to continue to collect points, but it's not the end of the world if you don't get 3. We want to go and see how we can get a result. And if it's a tie or a win, if it's a win, excellent. That's the welcoming. If it's a tie, it's not a bad thing either. We also have 2 games at home that we feel we can take advantage of.